I'm so excited. It is literally one of my favorite things to do on this channel, to read to you guys these choose your own adventure books. You guys can get them yourself at your local library. And this one is Brooklyn Mermaid. It's like a mini adventure when you aren't like able to go on a current adventure, right? You know? So Brooklyn Mermaid, we're going on a vacay. Possibly, it looks Atlantean. Could be. Okay. Okay. This adventure is dedicated to all climate activists, including you. Oh, okay. Oh, it's got the Star Wars beginning. See? Beware. Oh, you see how the print gets bigger. Beware and warning. This book is different from other books. You and you alone are in charge of what happens in this story. There are dangers, choices, adventures, and consequences. You must use all of your numerous talents and much of your enormous intelligence. Why, thank you. The wrong decision could end in disaster, even death. But don't despair. At any time, you can go back and make another choice. Oh, timeline exploration, jumping. Alter the path of your story and change its result. Okay, here we start. Oh, okay. The year is 2083 and you are a mermaid. Oh, that sounds cool. And a member of the rebel Merzood clan. Okay, they just ruined it with that Merzood word. That just sounds kind of... Okay, I'm gonna have to adjust to that. Sorry, author. Merzood, really? Come on. Okay. Atlantis, your home, has fallen under the control of a corrupt ruler. That actually happened. Who wants to use your Merzood magic for evil. That actually happened. When he captures you and imprisons your family, he has a ransom demand that you retrieve the Eye, a lost Atlantean relic. Do you search for the Eye in Atlantis or on land in nearby Brooklyn? Brooklyn, really? Will you be able to find the Eye, rescue your family, and stop the ruler from taking over the world? Dun, dun, dun. Atlantis has fallen. I'm going to pause right here. Like, I literally have a past life remembrance of leaving Atlantis as it was falling. And like, I'm really not joking. Atlantis really did shake and fall straight down. And I remember flying on a contraption that had a crystal that would let me fly, but I wasn't sure which direction I was going in. And I did not hit land. Atlantis has fallen. The clash between the Merzoods and the Atlantean elite forced the ruler of Atlantis and his guards into hiding. After Atlantis fell, the Merzoods rebuilt their city off the coast of Brooklyn, safe from the wrath of Atlantis, or so they thought. You were born into the rebellious Merzoods. Your name is Neruvid, but everyone calls you Neru. The Merzoods call you a seeker, which means you have a talent for puzzles, mazes, and searching the depths of the seas for mysterious objects to create inventions. Okay, so we have a gift. Puzzles, mazes, and searching. And that is exactly what you're on your way to do when the mackerel finds you. Hey, where are you going? You swallow your frustration. Mackerel are notorious for tagging along when they're least wanted. I'm Finn, this one says brightly. You don't respond at first, but he keeps swimming after you. I'm going seeking, you finally say. I got word from a clownfish in the reef that a Strider yacht sank a few fin flicks away from the Merzood city. Striders? Finn asks. You roll your eyes. This mackerel seems even slower than most of them. The two-legged land creatures, you say curtly. They leave behind all kinds of objects. My favorite is an encyclopedia that I found in the wreckage of a sailboat. The fragments are delicate, but I've been memorizing all the pages to learn as much as I can from the Striders. They're fascinating. Finn seems to think about this for a minute. If you're so interested in the Striders, what are you doing down here? You're a Merzood, aren't you? You sigh. Yes, I live with my Auntie Echo and Auntie Quell in a hideaway in a sea cave on the outskirts of Merzood City, just off the coast of Rockaway Beach in Brooklyn. I don't know why that makes me smile every time. Okay. Yes, I'm a Merzood, and yes, that means if I go on land, my tail and scales, will change into legs and skin. But I still have to be careful. Striders are unpredictable. If I expose my true identity, I could risk the safety of my whole community. When the Atlanteans attacked Merzood City, many of the Merzoods escaped to the Strider world. I have relatives in Brooklyn, but I haven't met them yet. Sometimes You pause suddenly, self-conscious of, and Finn doesn't need to know this, but sometimes at night you swim to Rockaway Beach and sit on the shore. You look at the lights of the Strider City. It looks so magical. Oh, she's like the little mermaid. You realize that the mackerel is talking and you snap out of your reverie. This time he's chattering on about Merzood magic, and I hear Merzoods can read minds. And when they cast a spell, it's bright orange and, what you say? No, none of that is true. Merzood magic always glows bright blue. And we can't read minds, but our magic takes many forms. Merzoods have been an active part of the ocean's ecosystems since the Jurassic period. Our magic runs as deep as the Mariana Trench. You feel a rush of pride thinking about your community's rich history. Merzood magic can help us find hidden places and treasures, and it can help with our aptitude for speaking the language of other sea creatures, which is, I guess, why she's talking to a mackerel. That's how we're able to talk to each other right now. Okay, and it can also help create the bubble portals that my aunties use to travel through space and time. Now that sounds cool. Just had a dream about that. It was awesome. You stop talking again, suddenly anxious. The evil ruler of Atlantis has always wanted to harness the Merzood magic. His army of mutant guards are the fruits of his experiments, but he has never been able to truly replicate Merzood magic. Atlantean energy has a deep green glow, and it is usually used for destruction, which is why they went down, by the way. Okay, and here's the next page picture. The Merzoods live in harmony with the ocean. In the same way that trees synthesize oxygen, Merzoods use light like coral polyps. Their scales conduct energy. Actually, in my Atlantean remembrance, personally, there were crystals that conducted energy that allowed things to fly. The Merzoods haven't seen the Atlantean guards in a long time, but you know that if you spot their inky acid green glow, they are close. You and Finn continue to swim through the Merzood city, and when you reach the city center, you pass Snariadna. That's probably the closest I'm going to get to saying that, right? What's that? Finn asks, as you had suspected he would. That's our statue of Snariadna, the Merzood spirit of chance and exploration. She has many tails and long blue hair, and sometimes when currents flow a certain way, Snariadna glows bright blue. Together you swim farther and farther through the city, getting closer to your destination. I think we're getting close to a decision. Okay, you swim past the reef, noting its white skeleton-like color. The current of the blue-green water carries plastic bags and other pieces of garbage. Nasty. It's so rude. Anyway, you can really hurt animals when you just throw stuff like that, you know. As you swim, you collect the bags to use as carriers for anything you find in the yacht. Okay, that's practical. Finn tries to help, but his fins are too short. He ends up carrying a single plastic bag in his mouth. By the time you reach the yacht, the ocean has brightened. Your auntie should be waking up and the reef will start buzzing with activity soon. You had left them a note to let them know where you were going. In stark contrast to the bustling reef, the area where you're seeking is completely silent and empty. You swim over a patch of brain coral and spy the yacht. Okay. It's hanging upside down, balanced over a deep ravine and surrounded by great white sharks. Great whites are the ultimate seekers, but they always leave you alone. Sharks are not interested in eating you. They prefer seals. You swim through a huge crack in the yacht's stern. From there, you swim into the living quarters. You look around for strider objects, but for some reason, it looks like it's already been seeked clean. Suddenly, you hear a scuttling noise. Finn, you call? But you don't hear a response, and the silence is ominous. You hear the drag of pincers along the floor and see a flash of green light coming from the next room. You peek through the doorway. Uh-oh. Two green glowing creatures scuttle around the ceiling and snap at things around the room. They have lobster faces and pincers, but they also have long green tentacles. Their mouths are filled with circular rows of tiny, sharp teeth. These are the mutant Atlantean guards. If they're here, that means the ruler is still active. Dun, dun, dun. You cover your mouth and try to escape, but you don't think where you're going to go swimming. You clumsily hit a shelf on your way out. The shelf holds a huge amount of strider food. All the cans roll down to the bow of the ship. The yacht loses its hold on the cliff. You swim through an open porthole as the yacht falls into the ravine. Turn to page 12. We are very close to a decision, I believe. You swim back to the hideaway as fast as you can, but when you get there, it's been ransacked and your aunties are gone. Auntie Echo, Auntie Quell, you call out, but no one answers. Your hideaway is filled with acid green ink. You fan the ink with your tail and it transforms into a triangle with an eye in the center. The symbol of the Atlantean government. Sounds like another symbol that some of you might know. An Atlantean guard scuttles down from the ceiling. The ruler has requested your presence. You, come with me. You feel a pair of pincers wrap around your tail and tentacles place a pair of green, glowing cuffs on your wrists. You have one chance to comply or I will be forced to take precautionary measures to ensure your safe delivery to the ruler, the guards growl. The Atlantean guards places you on a jet black manta ray and wraps a seaweed blindfold around your eyes. He snaps at the manta ray and you take off for the secret Atlantean fortress by Brooklyn, New York. Okay. Rocket over the reef. Oh, look at that. A new photo. And after a rough ride of twists and turns, the blindfold is ripped from your face. You adjust your eyes to the green glow of an underground cave. The cave is filled with barrels of toxic-looking green fluid. The ruler of Atlantis sits high on a throne of discarded oysters, a creepy grin stretched across his face. Hello, Neruvid, the ruler cackles. You have been brought to the court of high seas as an enemy of the kingdom. Would you happen to know anything about an accident in a yacht today? You shuffle uncomfortably. You hear a loud thud in the back of the room and the ruler bangs his gavel. Your family has been imprisoned in our dungeons, and you will be imprisoned with them unless you agree to help me. The ruler waves his claw and a large image of a glowing stone is brought before you. The stone is shaped like an eye, bright blue with a dark blue center. This is the eye, an Atlantean treasure that was stolen from us. Some say it was stolen by the Striders, but others believe it was lost in the abyss. If you can find the eye and return it to me, I will grant you and your family freedom. Well, here we go. The ruler stares hungrily at the poster and green slime drips from his mouth. Ew. He leans forward so his face is right next to yours. Beware, Neruvid. The eye has many impersonators. There are lots of blue stones out there. But the eye has a dark blue center, like the pupil of an eye. Get it? The guards laugh and the ruler bangs his gavel. The crowd falls silent. Now you must choose your place of exile, the Strider world of Brooklyn or the abyss. The crowd gasps. Your breath catches in your gills. The Strider world is vast, but you may be able to find your relatives in Brooklyn. On the other hand, your aunties have always said that the abyss holds secrets of the deep, and maybe that includes the eye. Well, didn't he just say that the eye might have been stolen, but who did he say stole it? I'm going to look back again. Was stolen by the Striders. Well, if the Striders stole it, then it's clearly not in the abyss. It's probably on land. So I guess we have to go to Brooklyn, New York. Okay, that's so weird. Okay, so the choices are if you choose exile to Brooklyn or if you choose exile to the abyss. I personally would prefer to go to the abyss, but logic states that if the Striders took it, it's probably on land, so I have to go to land. Back to Brooklyn. Okay, the guards blindfold you and put you back on the manta ray. As you near Rockaway Beach, a blue flash sends a forceful current of bubbles at you and the guards. The bubbles tear through the seaweed blindfold and send the guards flying backward. The blue light shimmers into an apparition of Snariadna. She takes your hand and you have a vision. You see a female Merzood transforming on the beach at Coney Island. Next to her is a baby swaddled in seaweed, wearing a blue ring on a chain around her neck. The moment her tail transforms into legs, she flees the beach and runs into Luna Park. A green glow slowly fills the bay, and 5 Atlantean guards surface cautiously on their manta rays. But they're too late. The mother and baby have successfully escaped them. Okay, so I guess that we did the right choice. In a blue flash, you see a grandmother holding a baby. She rocks the baby back and forth, and the baby reaches up, grabbing at her chain with a blue ring on it. The vision disappears, and then you see a young girl sitting with her mother at Coney Island. Rabbit, this necklace has been in our family for generations, and now that it's your 13th birthday, I can give it to you. Rabbit takes the necklace and puts it on. Another blue flash in your back with Snariadna. She claps her hands together and a small whirlpool forms. The whirlpool produces 2 objects, a blue crystal cylinder and a small black quartz sculpture. To take the crystal cylinder, turn to page 13. To take the sculpture, turn to page 19. I'm thinking the cylinder. I'm just going with my intuition. We're going to take the cylinder at page 13. Sniard disappears in a blue flash, and you're left holding the glass cylinder. You take the cylinder in your hands and turn one side until you hear it click. Then you line up the other side and turn it click. You turn both sides in opposite directions and pull them apart. The cylinder falls open. Heart racing, you pull a piece of parchment out of it. It is a map with the Brooklyn Bridge on one side and an image of the eye on the other. The map is filled with blurry pathways and X's. You hear the furious guards returning on the manta rays. You fold up the map and hide it in your gill flap. The guard sees you speeding to the outskirts of Coney Island. You see a rusted, barnacle-covered sign for Coney Island's Luna Park. It has been spray painted with words, "Save the Planet." Half-sunken amusement parks rides lie dormant on what used to be Rockaway Beach. What an awesome place to seek, you think to yourself as the manta ray zooms over the old Luna Park gates, covered in fields of kelp, and over the old boardwalk, now covered in mussels. The guards drop you near the new Coney Island's Luna Park, now called Aqua Park. It was renamed after sea levels rose. When you surface at Aqua Park, you see striders in scuba gear celebrating the Mermaid parade on the new boardwalk. Immediately, you spot a girl in a green mermaid outfit wearing a red backpack. You swim a little closer and see a blue ring around her neck. Could it actually be that easy? Could this be Rabbit's daughter or granddaughter? She looks almost identical to the rabbit in the vision you saw. Her family must be related to the Merzoods in some way. You wonder if they still have any Merzood powers. The sun disappears behind a cloud and a chilly wind blows through the boardwalk. You swim around Rabbit's granddaughter. She looks very sad. Maybe a quest for the eye will cheer her up? You pull yourself up onto a secluded part of the boardwalk and wait for your tail to transform into legs. You approach her, trying to figure out how to start talking to her, but the second you sit down, she turns to you and between sniffles asks, "You look so familiar. Do we know each other?" "Are you related to someone called Rabbit?" you ask. She looks shocked. "My grandmother's name was Rabbit, but she disappeared many years ago at sea," the young girl replies. "I am named after her," you smile. "Nice to meet you, Rabbit. I'm Neru." Rabbit stands up and puts out her right hand. "You forgot about this strider custom." The two of you shake. "Why are you upset?" you ask. Rabbit sniffles. "I wanted to join the mermaid parade, but I have a condition," she replies. "A condition?" you ask. Rabbit nods. "Thalassophobia. I am terrified of the ocean." Ordinarily, you would never reveal your identity to a strider, but Rabbit might be a Merzood. "Just a second," you say to Rabbit. "I have something to show you." You dive off the boardwalk. Rabbit watches, fascinated and amazed as you transform back into a Merzood. "I'll make you a deal. I can help you overcome your thalassophobia," you say, "but I need your help in return." "What kind of help?" Rabbit asks. "I need help finding an Atlantean treasure called the Eye," you explain. "It should be somewhere on this map." Rabbit doesn't hesitate. "You're on." You climb back on land and sit down after shifting to strider form. Rabbit pores over the treasure map while you explain about the ruler of Atlantis kidnapping your family and exiling you to Brooklyn. She frowns in sympathy, studying the map. "I know what to do," Rabbit says suddenly. "Follow me." With that, you and Rabbit set off for the bridge. You watch the scuba sub at Ocean Parkway as it starts to rain. You and Rabbit speed through an underwater subway track to the bridge. Okay, we're coming to a choice, guys, okay? Like it always did when it was called the subway, the scuba sub